like I said, the quail have never been an issue. They started eating my morning glories last year. And now this year, they're just eating everything. And then the rats eating stuff. And I've caught close to 50 rats and then several mice, and relocating them to the mesa, open mesa, which is mesa, for those that don't know what that is, like open field, wild field where no one lives. And then that way they can be part of the ecosystem for the coyotes, snakes, hawks, roadrunners, predators that are out there. So I'm still working on that. This is my beautiful trumpet vine. I posted a nice picture of this, I think 2 days ago on Thursday, with a beautiful sunset, New Mexico sunset. We just love our sunsets and sunrises here. I did a sunrise picture this morning. If you go to my bio, you can see all those pictures. And the bees are just loving the trumpet vine this morning. They're just loving it. But I have some Texas salvia down here. I think that's what it's called, or Texas sage. I always get them confused. And then over here, I got pretty much boxwoods, lilac. I have put several times now morning glory down in their seeds. I planted I transplanted one, and they keep getting eaten, even with the chicken wire, because I want morning glory to grow up my obelisk, and I am just not having good luck with that because of the pesky animals. So I will try again in another week or so and put some seeds there and see what happens. But over here, these are cloached, and finally these are coming along because the quail were eating these as well, and they're finally starting to climb. Now, a lot of the quail, they're having their babies now, and so, like I said, I used to see a lot of hens eating these morning glories. But now that they've had their clutches, their babies, they've kind of left them alone, because I think she's needing all what she could get to make, egg production. And now that she's had the babies hatch and everything, they're kind of just leaving those alone. So I'm happy about that. So now my morning glory can climb and do what it needs to do up this old trellis that I have, old honeysuckle vine on, which was from my front yard. We took this out and replaced the trellis up there and just kept the old vine on it because I liked the way it looked. And I like just seeing the old vine that was weaved in. And actually, I weaved that in there. As those were young green stems, I would train it to climb up there. So we decided to keep the old vine and let the new morning glories climb up there. And then these roses are hanging in there. They had a beautiful flush in June, and now they're kind of settled down and it's hot. And I kind of cut them back. They're looking a little stressed. And then this is morning glory as well, which I need to get this up here so that, let's see, so that it can climb and bloom. And again, I have that cloche. There's a nice pretty zinnia in there from last year that's growing. And I have it cloche because to keep the birds out, the quail. So I did finally start my veggie garden. I had waited because it was really hot in June, and we usually have that massive infestation of flea beetles that ate my lettuces and arugula last year. So I said, you know what, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to plant later, plant in July, late June, July. So I did late June, and I got little broccolis coming up over in this garden, and then this little area, and then this is my cucumbers. They're starting, and then I got little peas, And then this area has nothing in it. I'm waiting to put some peppers in there. I like my bell peppers. I make homemade pizza on Friday nights for my husband and I use our own peppers. And then I have carrots coming in, little baby carrots. And then this tomato, just self-sowed from our kitchen scraps. And so that kind of took off on its own, and I've just left that. And I think I do have, I thought I saw a little tomato in there. That's way down in there. I don't know if you can see that, but she's got little tomatoes that will be coming. And then I had cucumbers over here last year. It looks like I got a couple cucumbers that self-sowed. I'll have to move those. So kind of late start for me. Usually I have my veggies planted by the end of May, but because of the heat, I do it later this year. And then usually here I have zucchini, and I have leftover zucchini frozen in my house from last year. So I said, I'm going to skip the zucchini this year, and we'll try something different in this section of the bed. So I'll do the broccoli. But I'll give you updates throughout the season. My growing season here in New Mexico goes well into November. So just starting late in July, late June and July is over because we have such a long growing season. So let me take you down here. And I did plant some vincas down here in these old containers. My hollies were in these containers. And so I got the hollies and put them in the other containers that I showed you up there. And then these vincas are doing really well. They're living, they're surviving, nothing's getting after them. And I got rosemary, transplanted that. That was in a pot last year, and I got that out, and that's doing well. And this Moonglow juniper is doing really good. That was in a pot last year on my patio, and that's thriving. And then this was calendula, and the rats have gotten in it, and the birds, and they've just pecked it to death and chewed off all the leaves. I had baby zinnias growing in here. They got in there and pulled those out, even with the clochon. So I'm going to have to try again and maybe put some netting down and let those babies get bigger. It's been a battle this year. And then as you can see right there, I have the chicken wire, but you can see there's a hole where someone's been digging. So those are rats this year. And then as you can see right there, I have the chicken wire. Trying again. So I just keep burying it. And I know there's a little rat, a little brown one. Basically ran across my foot last night when I was watering in the garden up there. And so I got to catch him. But I've been catching lots of rodents. I think we're close to 50 rats now, plus all kinds of mice. It's crazy. This year, I've never had such an issue before, ever. So we'll just keep setting the trap and getting them out of here. But let me show you this funny little thing. I had a quail nesting in this honeysuckle, and I spooked her. I saw all these eggs. We had a lot of windy days. And I don't know if you can see down in there, but there's eggs on the ground in there, and there was like close to 12 of them. So this was a couple weeks ago, and the wind knocked all her eggs out and scared me. So, but she never came back. So there's like 12 baby quail that won't be running around eating my stuff. And I love the quail, I do. I just wish they wouldn't eat my garden. They never used to, so I don't know why they're doing it now. But anyway, and then I got some zinnias in this pot here. And usually I grow those here every year. I love the way they look. They get really tall. So the honeysuckle's doing well. That was all in bloom in May. It was beautiful. Smelled so good out here. Oh, I just heard something run back there. That's probably that little brown rat. I'll catch him. So anyway, that is my struggle this year. It's been rough. It's been hard, but other people around the country are having worse weather and worse things happening to their homes. So I'm very thankful and count my blessings that we haven't had any wildfires where it's been so dry here. The state has had wildfires around, but nothing in my area. And, there's people that have had tornadoes and flooding and stuff. So it's just going to be one of those years. Oh, and a little bright happy thing in my garden is my first sunflower. Let's go take a look at that, and we'll end on that note. She just opened up. Is she pretty? I posted a picture of her yesterday. First one of the year. Oh, and there's a little bee on it. So anyway, we'll count the blessings we have and the flowers that are making it. And as things cool off, as we get into August and stuff, I'm hoping the garden will rebound and we'll have more things to show you all and better news of what's been happening. So, but that's part of gardening life. Some years you have good years and some years you have rough years. And this is one of those rough years. My last rough year I had was 2023. That was a really hot, dry summer with lots of insect infestation with flea beetles and squash bugs, all kinds of things. So, but anyway, just wanted to say hello and good morning, and I hope you all have a nice Saturday, and feel free to stop by my bio. There's a link there that will take you to where I sell my artwork and t-shirts and tote bags, puzzles, coffee mugs, and all kinds of things that pertain to my garden. And I'd appreciate your patronage. So I hope you all have a wonderful Saturday. Take care, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.